Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. Welcome. If this is your first time of stopping by, I say welcome. Please consider subscribing to my channel. Join the growing family. To my old subscribers who have always supported me, I really appreciate it, and I say thank you, and thank you for coming back again to watch my video. So in today's video we'll be making this lovely style, and I'll see you at the end of the video. Bye bye. So for this style, we'll be making use of brown paper once again to cut our bodies because of the style at the front part, so that we can cut it. You can make use of the paper to cut the style out. So I'll be starting off. I will start by marking my half length, which is 11 inches. That is what I just marked, plus 1 inch allowance for joining. And where I'm just marking now is my zipper allowance. I didn't know that it wasn't showing on the camera, so what I just did is to mark out 1 inch at that side. You see it later in the in a few minutes to come. You see what I just did there. So from the center line, that's from the first line, I'm going to mark my neckline, which is I did 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches, that for the length and the width. I'm going to go ahead, connect the line, and then make a curve for a round neck. So the next thing I'm going to do, starting from this first line, which is the center front, I'm going to mark my shoulder measurement, which is 12 inches. You can add half-inch allowance, but the reason why I don't add half-inch is because the half-inch is already added to the 12 inches measurement. 12 inches, so that's why I don't usually add half-inch to my shoulder. So for that 6 inches is what I'm going to go down with for my armhole depth. So I'm at my armhole depth. I'm going to insert my bust measurement, which is 25 divided by 4. Then I added 2.5 inches for this. The reason for adding 2.5 inches is so that if there's any need for adjustments to lose it, I'm going to do that. Then for my shoulder slope, I went down by 1 inch and I connected the line. Then at my waistline, I'm going to add that at the half length line. I'm going to add my waist measurement. All the measurement is going to be in the description box. Please check it out. And then I also added my allowance. We are adding all our allowance in this brown paper. So when we want to cut it out, we are cutting exactly the same in the paper. But if you prefer cutting out, if you prefer putting your measurement while cutting in the fabric, fine and good. So my from my back measurement neckline, I went down by 1 inch allowance. I'm going to cut that first, transfer to my fabric before cutting out the front measurement. Hope you understand. Don't make mistake of cutting the front and the back together, unless you want it to be the same measurement. And I'm going to go ahead and cut. I'm cutting the back bodies first, because I'm going to remove the zipper allowance before cutting the front bodies. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please, what are you waiting for? Hit on that subscribe button, join the growing family. Please do not leave today without subscribing to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel and always give me thumbs up. Support me in every way that you can, and I appreciate it. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the zipper allowance and also cut my front neckline so that I can cut out the front one. And this is it after cutting, after transferring it to my fabric. So the next thing I'm going to do is to mark the design at the front part. So I'm going to go down by 3 inches. By the time I join it, I'll be at 3.5 inches. Then also mark my nipple to nipple measurement, nipple to nipple measurement, right? So that is 2.5 inches plus half inch for plus half inch. By the time I join it, I'll be at 2.5 inches. So I connected it to meet my armhole line. Then I made a curve, depending on how curvy you want it to be, just like you want to cut a princess dart, and more like that. So I made a curve to meet that nipple to nipple measurement, and then I'm going to go ahead to cut it out. So I'll be using this net, white net for this design. I said to put this in under it so that you guys will see it well. I don't know if you have seen it well because of the white table. So and remember my fabric is on food. I'm going to cut out exactly what I have in my brown paper. So the next thing I did is to cut out the fabric I'm going to use to plait the down part of it, and also cut out the net. This net is about half of the down part of it, and the down part of it I'm going to show you the measurement later in the video, or you can check my description box to get the measurement. So for the sewing tutorial, I'm going to start by getting the front part of this net. Is a net fabric. I'm going to place the back side facing the front of my bodice. So I'm going to arrange this very well and then use my pin to secure it in to keep it in place, to secure it. Making use of this pin makes the work a little more easier than sewing straight to the machine. So when you keep it in place, it's easier for you to stitch down when you want to stitch down. The fabric won't be moving round, so you just keep it in place and then stitch down. And I'm going to stitch by 1/2 inch at the two sides of the net fabric. I'm going to stitch by 1/2 inch all the way down. Then for the neckline, I'm just going to stitch it. I'm not going to fold it in, just like I just did, just like you are seeing in my video. And I did a handbag band for my needle. I hope you like it. If you want a tutorial on this handbag for the needle, please leave a comment below and I'll do a tutorial. Just a quick one, nothing more than 1 minute for it. Then the next thing I did is to place my the front part together. If you have an extra fabric, you can use it. If you don't, please use your lining to turn this. So I cut out two different fabric for this, the same fabric, two different front side. So I'm going to go ahead, stitch the neckline and the armhole, because it's not going to have a sleeve. So I'm going to stitch the two armhole together, then stitch the neckline before turning it inside out. And I did the same thing for the back as well. And this is it after stitching it down. I removed my pin and then cut out a little bit of excess at the neckline before going ahead to notch this all around. Remember, while notching it, please do not cut through the thread. Just notch it a little bit, but don't cut through the thread. And I also did the same thing for the back. So this is it after turning it inside out. The next thing I'm going to do is to join the shoulders together. So I'm going to go ahead and arrange it well as much as I can and then join it together. So I'm going to go ahead and arrange my shoulders together, pin it down, and then put my machine to stitch it down. And this is it after stitching it down. So the next thing I'm trying to do is to arrange the bodies together, that's the back and the front together, to take out my zipper allowance. So I'm going to go ahead and pin that down. Then also to stitch the two sides with my measurement. So this is after stitching it down. The next thing we're going to do is to go ahead for the down part of it. So for the length of this, for the width of this, I have about 31 inches. unfold. My fabric is unfold, so when you open it up, it will be about 62 inches. Then for the length, my length is 30 inches minus 11 inches for the half length, so the remaining one is what I cut out here, plus 2 inch plus 1 inch allowance for joining. So my then for the white net is the same length with same width with this, with the Ankara. Then for the length, I have about 11 inches there, so I'm going to stitch the down part of it on the Ankara fabric, and then this is it after stitching it down. So the next thing I'm going to do is to turn it to the right side of it. Remember, the net is and the fabric is wrong side, facing the right side. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch the down parts of the Ankara and the net. I had to join the net because it wasn't long enough for the length of the Ankara. So this is it after stitching it down. So the next thing I'm going to do is to stitch down also the upper part of the net. I'm going to arrange this well and then use my pin to keep it in place before going to my machine to stitch it in to close the rough edges of it with 1/2 inch. So this is it after stitching it down. The next thing we are going to do is to transfer it to the bodies, but first we are going to fold it together to get the front bodies, the front measure, to get the center measurement sorry, to get the center. So I'm going to go ahead and notch that and also notch the center of the bodies, then pin both of them together. So after pinning it down, I have two uniform measurements at the two sides of it. So for the one side, I'm also going to get the center and then notch it and pin it down at the same side of one of this side, just like this side. I'm going to pin that center to the same side. So what I have now is four different excess fabric. So each of them are going to, just like I plaited this, I'm going to plait it down, and for this I'm going to also pin down my zipper allowance, and then the excess I'm going to plait it just like I did on the first one, and I also do the same for the other side of the bodies. So this is it after plaiting all of them down. I'm going to remove my pin, then flip it to the right side so that you guys will see. And this is it after I was done. So the next thing I'm going to do is to flip this and close the zipper allowance. I'm going to stitch the down from the down to where my zip is going to stop, and then attach my zipper. And that's all for this style. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope you enjoyed. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Support my channel in every way you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed to my channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye. Share my videos too.